press cross button.
Yes?
Bagley here. How did everything go earlier?
I might have just found us some fresh meat. Ready?
Just about there. Right, let's find her what's-its then.
This shit needs to stop. Why are they going after this poor bastard?
Excuse me, you want to get out of the fucking piece right now?
I hate putting Mary Kelly on the back burner while she continues to destroy lives with those microchips, but for now, we've no choice.
Then perhaps it's time to have a closer look at the elephant in the room. Nigel Cass, billionaire warmonger and current CEO of our local horde of thugs, Albion PMC.
Cass certainly profited most from the bombings. We can inspire London to resist from now till forever, but it still won't break Albion's grip on the city. Not with Cass at the top.
So we're going to take on the head of the barbarous PMC outfit, currently treating London like its own private occupation zone. Remind me again how that's not suicide?
Bagley's come across a possible gap in Cass's armor. An ex-insider, ex-friend with an axe to grind. He'd be an asset if we can find and convince him to work with us. Come to the safe house. We'll talk it through.
Solution interior decorator.
I hope this isn't a bad time, but we need your particular skill set for something.
Okay.
How you doing? I hope you don't mind me getting situated in your safe house. Crime marches on, and so will I. There are still cases that need to be closed, if you'll help me.
I'm on it.
Excellent. I uploaded a case to Bagley. He can brief you on it.
Clan Kelly's been sending a ton of crypto to an unknown party in Cairo. Something to do with Kronos X.
New dark web designer drug, right? The cops were trying hard to keep it off London streets. Back when the cops tried to do things.
It's a highly addictive psychotropic with a staggeringly high fatality rate that stands to make Clan Kelly a lot of money.
Yeah, but at the cost of how many lives?
Well, the phrase Finsbury New Project keeps popping up in their comms, if you'd like to take a look into it. Right, let's talk about Albion PMC, the only British organisation to successfully oppress more of the developing world than the British government. Led by Nigel Cass, a man the partisan media calls a charismatic visionary, and Amnesty International calls a war criminal. Albion was given the key to the city to re-establish order following the bombings.
Which is very suspicious.
It is. So that's two reasons why we need to find an angle on Cass.
We've found one. His name, Hamish Balaji. Born in London, Balaji was a recipient of the Cass Foundation Technical Scholarship at 14, which included a mentorship with Cass himself. At 16, Balaji designed Cass's first drone fleet. Fun fact, Cass delayed the launch by a week so it would land on Balaji's birthday.
Cass sounds like Balaji's second dad. Why would he help us?
They had a falling out after an incident in the Niger Delta 3 years ago. A buried human rights investigation accuses Cass of ordering a drone fleet to wipe out a village protesting the construction of a pipeline, but the drones malfunctioned before they could. Balaji is named as the likely saboteur. He's been on the run ever since, but now tracking data shows he's reappeared in London.
Shit, he's looking for redemption like with the protesters. This guy designed Cass's drone fleet. I think he's trying to disarm Albion.
He covers his tracks well, but that's a good guess. Unfortunately, according to this Albion intelligence report intercepted by our friend Caitlin Lau, Cass knows Balaji's in London as well. So, that's the op. Make contact with Balaji before Albion finds him. Then convince him we have a mutual enemy in Cass.
So this guy's our best chance to stop Albion and clear our names. And the largest private army on Earth wants him dead. No pressure.
In the kitchen, on the right-hand side, when you walk in.
It took some doing, but I've narrowed down the area where we're most likely to find Hamish Balaji. I've pushed the coordinates to your optic.
He was sitting at this bench when this man, in a gorgeous suit,
We must cast this evil out of our house! Look at that!
I'm taking this!
From our beloved government. It's fine. In fact, I'm going to read between the lines here and actually say there's probably... There's too much medicine, if anything. Just medicine. You can't move for medicine. In fact, just this morning, I tried to pour some cornflakes into a bowl for breakfast and out-tumbled a 12-month course of immunosuppressants, corticosteroids, and anti-retrofungal neurodilatory estrogen spermatotropic fruit.
Oh, fuck off, you fascist freak!
I for one believe that there are no medical shortages, Andy. Just last week, went in with a broken arm and they suggested it might just be extreme period pain and prescribed me a drink of water and an astrology chart.
We can't be too far away from them just prescribing stiff upper lip like they do.
My uncle had a leg removed due to diabetes. They halved his insulin because they said there was less of him to be diabetic.
So, anyway, people don't believe what you read.
Bilardi has been snooping into Albion's affairs. Quietly, of course, but I've been able to determine that most of his activity stems from this area.
Okay, let's get introduced.
Not so fast. Hamish isn't in, according to his home security. And before you get ideas, he's rigged his front door to a series of traps designed to delete all of his data and then your life. Not necessarily in that order.
Gee, paranoid much?
To be fair, you are an armed insurgent trying to break into his flat. Anyway, you should be able to connect to the local grid and use security cameras to disarm his traps.
Right, got it.
Not for me.
2 episodes.
Fuck you, you fucking pig.
Yeah.
You kidding? He really said that?
I believe the main interface is on the rooftop.
Could I use the windows up there as an access point?
Sure, if you can get there. 3 options here. 1, use the window washing platform. 2, find a cargo drone. 3, give up, go home, and resolve to be a better person.
I'm on it. I'm honestly kind of impressed with just how many traps he's got set up in here.
You could force the traps to unlock by rewiring the power.
I'm on it.
Welcome to Claire and Present Danger, and welcome to Fascist London. Don't let that boot on the back of your neck disturb you. In time, you'll barely feel it. We have to wake up, people. If there was a playbook for setting up a totalitarian police state, Albion would be most of the way through it and working on the epilogue. They certainly took advantage of the fallout from the bombings, didn't they? Preyed on the fears of the city government, too. They were only too happy to hand Nigel Cass the keys to the city. Wash their hands to the whole mess. The collar will only get tighter now, friends, unless we do something. We can't wait for someone else to fight back. We are the change.
traps are disarmed. Now, if you go through the front door of the flat, it's much less likely you'll be killed.
Oh, easy.
Move! One more muscle chief and I'll blow the whole place with you in it.
Okay, no need to get excited.
Who the fuck are you? And what are you doing in my flat? You with Albion?
Hardly. More like the exact opposite.
What, DedSec? Yeah, right, and I'm Che Guevara. You done?
Please don't! We're here to warn you. Albion knows you're in London. You have to run.
Fuck me. You're telling the truth, aren't you? Fucking hell, thought I was careful. Fucking idiot, Amish. Look, Cass is worse than you know.
Oh, we know. Why the hell else would I be out here risking my neck?
Maybe, because Nigel Cass is paying you. That's how fucking mercs work.
Oh, please. We're on the same side. Cass already tried to kill us once, and we know he had a hand in the bombings.
Mate, you don't know shit. You have no idea what Cass is and what... Move! Fuck! An Albion squad's closing in on you. I guess you weren't lying about that part. Fuck, think, Amish, think. Shit, fine. We'll table it. I'll buy you some time. Just go. No!
Move it! Don't just stand there. Albion won't be fussy about who they shoot.
Bloody.
Right, close this fucker down. Send emergency vehicles to my location. You force this suspect to stop. Careful!
I'm putting an end to this. Over. Control, we're pursuing the suspect.
Attention, flat tire detected. Please repair as soon as possible.
Putting an end to the chase now.
There's our suspect. Use a pursuit intervention technique. Control,
suspect. There's our suspect. Over. Received. We are trailing the target. We are inbound. Stand by. Anyone have visual? Anyone? Received. Returning to HQ. Over.
I think all that excitement convinced our new friend Hamish that we need to work together to tackle Cass. He's willing to cooperate.
Right now, how did...
All right, Chief. That was a pretty slick escape. I believe you. So I'll say this. Nigel is planning something, and I don't think I could stop him on my own. If DedSec's everything I've heard, you'll help me.
We can help each other. There's a chance Cass had something to do with the bombings. What could he be planning that's worse than that?
No, that's not like him. Well, not exactly. See, Nigel's got to see himself as the hero. He's an arrogant twat, but he's not a cynic. Every place we go into, we would have some mad plan to fix all his problems. With robot police or automated crop fertilizing or some shit. Society was a technical problem. And people are just bugs in the software, you know? You work around them or you squash them. Sorry, Chief. I gotta switch proxy servers so they don't trace me. I'll hit you right back on voice. Listen, I've got an inside man, right? A contact in Albion. Says Nigel's got this big meeting happening at White Tower. He'll be talking about a major project he's got planned for London.
What we need is an insider on the team.
I've always wanted to be in on a caper. Okay, first things first. We'll need eyes on the impregnable target, so off you go. I'll crack on with assembling the right personnel to round out this ragtag bunch of misfits.
Ah, shit. I'll be inside with security sniffing my proxy IP. Must have traced the detonator signal. I've got to deal with this.
What it is that they're going to do.
Sorry, didn't see you there.
Don't believe it, you'll need to show me pictures.
I'm not a total pessimist. I have to think if we didn't need the mercenaries, they wouldn't be here. What with the tone bombings, and there's the immigration issues, and it seems like every day there's a bloody gunfight in the news. I suppose it's a bit of a chicken and egg for the system. I just don't know what to think anymore. I saw this bloody great show the other night. Small band, just right in a pub. Oh God, the energy! There wasn't a single person in there who wasn't transfixed.
It was almost like 10 years ago, and she still gets to look at it.
Ring, you're it. Come on.
All right, let's get to it.
She never says. She just looks out the window.
Nigel Cass's meeting will begin soon. Approach the Tower of London when you're ready.
that the whole state's so high, and they built this whole checkpoint system with the army stationed around it. Now, no crime has been committed, at least according to officer approaches. They just effectively say that housing criminal activity, whatever that means. Anybody going in or going out has to be scanned. So, I just went home. I was scared. Who knows what they could suspect me of doing? But with all the grey skies and that, I figured it was worth a go. Put it next to the couch for when I watch telly. It's alright, nice to look at. I've only had it for about a week now. I don't know if that's enough, you know. Well, I'll give it another week, see if it makes any difference.
Look, all I'm saying is I'm a bit suspicious of DedSec. The only people who want that much power and action are people on...
If we're lucky, word hasn't spread that you've hung up your jackboots. Just try to put on your meek, harmless, broken by the system face. Oh, and don't forget your uniform. Looking sharp. Your ex-colleagues won't pay any attention to you unless you let them take a close look.
It's not... Oh, what the fuck? Stand down.
I cannot wait for Friday, mate. Simmons, do you know him? Anyway, no matter. He's the one who organised our team-building activity. He's rounded up a few of the prisoners they brought in a little while ago, the ones who didn't have any relatives. He figures he'll make for an easier time when we declare them missing. Right, so the fun part. He's going to release them into an open field while we get our shots in. I'll bet you a pint I can get rid of 10 before you. You're on, you slimy bastard. Listen here. I'm going to tell you something, and it's between you and me. Completely off the record, yeah? The whole thing's quite disturbing to me. They've got good reason to close off parts of the building, but at the end of the day, it's a load of bollocks. This place is a treasured part of London's history, of its culture. Great, powerful men have ruled over this fortress. The citizens of London have an obligation to it. You can't keep people out. They must visit it, breathe in its very essence, so that they too can become great. But again, this is all between you and me, mate. Carry on now.
A word of caution now we're inside. Any disturbance in here and Nigel Cass will surely cancel his meeting. Avoid being detected by your former colleagues or this operation is a bust.
Nigel won't have anything important on this floor.
You seem to know a lot more about him than the average person.
Yeah, I was Albion too, if you hadn't twigged to that. Me and Cass were close once. Looked up to him.
Huh.
He was bigger than life, fam. Literally a tech genius. And I was just a gearhead kid. I wanted to be like him. That's why I joined up.
Seriously?
Didn't find out he was a murderous prick until later.
Dealing with construction.
I heard someone saying DedSec.
This door clearly requires a security pass.
Great.
Use one of the nearby computers to create your forgery.
Be careful. You don't want to know what Nigel does with trespassers.
In this day and age, that is what is needed.
That might be part of it, but I think he likes the power. Maybe a little too much.
I wouldn't let anyone else hear you say it.
No good to question him. You've been up there, Liv? There are some parts of the city that
I didn't mean anything by it.
some heavy boys.
I agree.
You understand?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But there's always zealous.
It'll take some time for the forgery to be ready. To keep you occupied, I dragged up still images and a recording from an internal investigation into Cass Senior's death.
Let's see it.
Internal Psych Assessment AS001 Subject Cass Nigel. Mr. Cass experienced a deeply traumatic event when he witnessed the murder of his father, Gareth Cass, CEO of Albion. He began exhibiting symptoms soon after what he frequently described as the random event. Mr. Cass's initial symptoms included insomnia, paranoia, distorted blame, and recurring flashbacks. However, he appears to have channeled his anger and self-described powerlessness into his work to ensure that Albion become, quote, a mechanism for preventing unpredictable violence. It seems somewhat of a mania, edging on psychosis. For me, this raises concerns about Mr. Cass's fitness to run a multinational security company. But I cannot, at this time, make any recommendation beyond continued monitoring, especially considering that I have been asked to close this file.
So, looks like Cass has some issues to work through. Would have been nice if he had done that before he had to secure London.
Yeah, well, Nigel's never close to anyone but his dad. And me, I guess. Never had much faith in people, really.
Well, the pass is ready, but rough. If this resistance thing doesn't work out, I doubt you'll make a living as a document forger. Let's give it a go anyway. Nigel Cass awaits.
How's it going? Seems a bit tense.
How are you getting on with those metrics?
We're in the
midst of a... It wouldn't do to miss it.
Intruder alert! Intruder alert!